See somebody. Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Hey, no worries. Larry. I was trying to make this one just a friendly one. Everybody turns their screen off. Sometimes everybody's it's my fault for creating that kind of environment where people don't want to talk. Yeah. So sometimes I like to hear y'all voice too. So yeah, just looking at that, that's another reason why we have advantage. And then your objective, if it's more fiat or more Bitcoin, and if you're going for more Bitcoin and Bitcoin drops and you're at USDT, that's like a happy occasion because now you got more Bitcoin. And so, when there's like when you have a larger account, some guys they're splitting the account up in half where they can go get fiat and altcoins on one, and then they keep the other half in USDT. So when the market drops, they're able to accumulate a little bit more Bitcoin. The the commitment that comes down to your why as well. Because I have a lot of people asking like, oh, how much time should I be in the market? It's like, well, for me, anytime I'm bored, I'm in the market, or if I got some time, I'm blocking out my time on my calendar. Like I don't watch sports. I rather watch the market when I have extra time. So you don't have to have a certain amount of time, but you need to understand like how much time do you have. That's going to determine what type of trading you're going to do. So, for me, it's really important for a lot of guys, even in the mastermind. Like one of the things I want guys to understand is managing your time. If you can manage your time, you can be a great trader. You know, um, and I'll explain that Vivian. She wants me to explain check the volume on a particular coin. All right. So, managing your time is, critical to actually being able to trade. So, like guys that got out on Tuesday and we had that planned out and we kind of knew that Tuesday was going to, we should start taking profits. So, people that wasn't in the market the last few days, they're not really worried about the drop. I had, guys hitting me up talking about, man, I feel so great that I'm out the market right now. And they see the drop happening. And so that's just, managing that part of your time. The calendar that we have, you know, this is just a reminder that if you can manage your calendar, then you kind of can anticipate trading. So, we had in our calendar the best times to actually trade, November 1st and November 6th, and then the unpredictable days. If you just had that and you got out on the 7th, which is yesterday or even the day before, uh, you'd be in a much better situation because the things and times are planned out. So, that trading plan helps you with that. Attending these calls, when you're attending these calls, you asking the questions. So if you want me to go over the volume on a particular coin, you know, it's like the more you participate, I think the more your income goes up in your trading, you have more success. Asking the questions, that's just a promise. Like, that's a commitment saying that, hey, I'm gonna ask these questions so it can help my trading. The 3 month, 6 month, 12 month, goals is like the vision. Like, where you want to see in 12 months in your trading. Do you still want to be like, dedicating some of your job and then trading some of the time, or do you want to actually have a plan that hey, in 12 months this is where I see myself trading or moving large amounts of money, but then it requires what are you gonna do every day to get there? So you have daily goals. Then it's like, all right, well, how I'm gonna operate with those daily goals, weekly goals, like my monthly. Like there's some people that only trade 2 or 3 times a month, and they can get their monthly goals with 5%, 10% of whatever they count. So if they can make 3 trades at 5%, that's their 15% that month. So the reasons why you want to be a day trader or a swing trader, like kind of just go over that and define it. The setup, what type of trades that you always going to take. Some guys like, hey, if I see it above the 20-day M&A and it's just crossing, they hop in that trade, and you just have a idea of what setups. Because I had a person earlier today ask me about stop losses, and basically it's like, my rules for entering long, entering short, and then they were asking me like, well, what's your stop loss? And I was like, well, I normally don't use a stop loss. And it's like, well, everything I've read, and I was like, man, you're reading it from someone else's plan. The reason I don't use a stop loss because I never go all in on a trade. So I account for if I buy right now and it drops, what am I going to do? And then people are like, well, what if it drops too much? And it's like, the only reason I'm buying it, if I'm not day trading, I'm swing trading, I'm anticipating some kind of news and some type of momentum. So that means that if it drops, I just get it for a little bit better price. I bought it for a reason. Like, normally when you buy, you're anticipating it going up. But if you don't have any research behind why you're buying it, then that's why you use stop losses. And to me, stop losses it just guarantees your loss. Like you advertising that, here's where I'm going to take a loss at. Like to me, that's speaking to the universe. Like, well, this is where I'll take my loss. And my thing is like, I want to win every trade. So I don't think about taking a loss. I think about if it drops at a certain levels, I'm going to buy more and I'm going to average out of that position. So at least I can, you can win every position. You can win every trade. If you're not day trading and you actually plan, you can make a plan to get out of every trade successful, unless it just goes to zero. But you have to lose money, but you may lose time, right? You get in the wrong trade and it drops, you may lose time waiting for it to come back or lose on the average. All right. So, your risk management rules, your questions that you ask yourself before you trade, like my mental state, have I reviewed the mastermind report, the checklist? These are things that you want to like create in your plan. Cause I have a morning formula. Before I trade, I go through all these screens, like every time. That's why anytime you guys, I hop on a call, you have so many windows open. And that's because that's how, I go through each one of these and I'll just step through them, right? Before I make a decision on trading. I know where the market is at. I know what's going up. I know where the volume is at. I know where volume is coming in. So, you get familiar with your routine, your checklist. So when people ask me like, about buying, and it's like, man, have you gone through your checklist? That's why we have that. And so, then you can answer some of those questions. The post trade routine, it's like, after you trade, what do you do? Like after you've made money and says, all right, well, should I review that? Should I say, hey, did I follow my trade or did I just get lucky? I bought something that went up and, it was a spur of the moment thing and I just took profits. Even your lucky trades you want to review those too. So you want to have a post trade routine of what you do after a trade. After I do a trade, I actually go in and I mark up the chart of like, hey, I sold here before, and I'll add an alert. Let myself know that hey, I marked up, and then where did I buy? Because sometimes if you mark where you bought and where you made money, you'll make money again on the same thing. All right. And what tools am I using and staying disciplined? So I changed that. So I got some new tools I've added, to my I've took some out. I've taken a lot of my calendars out and I've added some other windows. So, I'm always evolving as well. But when it comes to I'm gonna ask you a question now, Vivian. When it comes to your check a volume on a particular coin, I mean, give me an example. I can just tell you what I do. So if I'm like trading Litecoin, right? I mean, the first thing I do is just come to Litecoin, open it up on CoinMarketCap. You can check the volume right there in the historical data, and it'll tell you the volume on that coin and the market cap. So, I mean, right here, this is how you check volume. And now you want to check it right at the time that you're trading it. You can actually, there's so many tools out there that if, let's see, there's so many tools out there. Let's just go over one. So if I was looking at, LTC, oops.
Hold on, I'll get a link to send it to you. Hold on.
Yeah, give me that link. All right. You can go to the tie and you can actually look at the volume as well here. So, for me, I look at the volume over a period of time, but it'll tell you the average volume and the volume of it, right at the moment. And then also your tools that you have on TradingView, it'll actually tell you the volume. So if I actually went in LTC here, and you can get all the technicals, you can get the volume. So you'll come here and you'll look, and then you pull your details up.
What's it?
All right. So you'll have your technicals, your moving averages, and somewhere down here you'll have your volume weighted average. Let me pull this up right here. And so that's using that one tool where basically you have your volume even by the hour and the price. So you have your volume here as well. So you can see what it was 1 week ago, 1 day ago, 1 hour ago, and 3 minutes ago. So you'll see that the volume is declining, but where it was a week ago, there's a lot more volume in. So this helps because it shows you volume over a period, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then go ahead, and then if you actually go to our group, you can actually check volume as well in here. So all these commands that we have, you can just search through. You can see volume on a coin.
And how do I determine the benchmark of that particular coin to know what's good, what's?
So I'm looking at an increase in volume, but if you go through the historical, you can see what the volume is right now. And then if you go to you have to kind of, make sense. You see, all right, you can look back 30 days and you can just go through and see, hey, volume was high at 4 or 5. And, anytime at 2, what was the low price? So you can see under 3 million or 3 billion, the volume is low. And so, and then I like to use the last 5 or 7 days. So I want to see the average and see, all right, a couple of days ago it was a lot higher, at 4. Is it 3.7? Now it's at 3.5. And now if I can see what it is right now at this moment, and I see it's at 2, I see it's declining. The volume is declining on it. Then I go look at the chart. So you're putting all the information together. There's no, you can get the volume, but you want to see it. You want to take all the information. You just don't want to take the volume at this one point in time. You compare it over 3 to 5 days. Is that cool? Is that? That's the answer. You don't just take one. You look at the volume, the body of data that you have.
Understood.
All right, cool. I feel like somebody else wanted to say something there. So, looking at the coin market cap right now, and we go back and we actually can look at the market cap. So we see it's going down from 240 to 239. And like I said, the next, you see what time it is. I'm taking this time, seeing that, all right, it's getting closer to, when Asia wakes up, and then you see volume coming down. We see the volume overall is 239.9. And then we go back to a tool. Where's that tool go? And you see the volume right here, it's starting to come down. So if I refresh this. So, you do see a volume decline. And so that tells you like, hey, I wouldn't be trading into a volume decline. And so that's why the market is neutral when you don't see any true trend and is only moving like 100 million at a time. that's not a lot of volume coming in. So as you look at it, you'll kind of start realizing like, all right, that's not a big move. You see a big move here from 244 to 238. That was a big move. 250 to 244. These are big moves in time frames. So, that's it's kind of what you look at on the volume side, and then on the trading plan side, knowing on Sunday, like there's no substitute for being in front of the screen and kind of just looking at the market, taking the data and looking at it a little bit. You don't have to spend 3, 4, 5 hours a day, but you want to track at least a couple of coins. So this way you get used to looking at them and seeing, where they're at and how they move and the support, being able to look at the alligator and kind of identify, something you see, because you're going to see something different than when you have on these calls. You can actually ask the questions. Like when I see this down and it's on the days range here and then buys here, to me, that looks like the low of the day. But when I start seeing this in the middle and then this hanging this way, then I know the price is going to continue to go down. All right. So KMD, looking at that and seeing where resistance at on a 1 day and a 2 day. And so a lot of times when the market is actually, this is one of the ones I sent earlier. I sent KMD, STX, and another one. So, and see, so that now if I'm looking at KMD and I'm seeing here the buy pressure here and the buy side here, all the technical analysis, that gives me confidence to go in, on if you just trade in and out. And so you'll start seeing that yourself, but sometimes it just requires you to take a look at it every now and then. And so the swings, looking at swing plays, I'm looking at, 2 days, 1 week, 1 day. And I'm saying, all right, here is fighting resistance. So I probably wouldn't get into it for a swing and hold it right now until it breaks out or until I see more volume come in. So if I look at it here, it's still got a lot, it looks different on a week. So if you're swing trading and you're on a week, it looks a lot different than when you're on a day. So that's why you look at the week, definitely for our swings, but we're going to swing into a period when we have, when we know that we're going into a stronger period. If our calendar is telling us that, we're expecting some neutral days, then we know we're only going to be day trading over the weekend. We're not really going to enter into swings big unless we see the volume moving, 5 billion to 10 billion on the volume. All right. Cool. So what else is out there? So you want to add something, Nick? Cal, we got all the Friday night committed guys on here. Hey, how you doing, Tiala? Are you glad you didn't you attended on Tuesday and when you asked and you stayed out the market?
Am I happy? I'm past happy.
You're past happy, right? I got a lot of messages.
Yeah, good stuff. I appreciate that. Save me some money.
All right. And yeah, we had a lot of guys that got out Tuesday, even got Wednesday, and then when we had the bots, even the bots, I talked to guys about, the bots are good, but, the reason they still have traders on Wall Street is because, the bots can't do it all. Like, you're still human. And so using the machine is still no substitute for the human. It's still no substitute for knowing that, all right, psychology is 2-3 days in a row we up, market hitting all-time highs. We're going to avoid the market right now. And then knowing the historical data, on it, the bot will keep buying as it goes down. And, we know that we're expecting the market to be down 3, 4, 5 days. It's going to really keep buying. And if you use stops, it's going to stop out. And so you'll have a lot of small losses on a bot because it'll continue to buy and then it gets stopped out. So that's the reason why we had it on stop buy. And now today, it's like, all right, we can buy on a low into the next week. It's still it's still going down, but at any time it, take smaller gains. So you'll turn your bot on and be like, hey, I'll take 1 or 2% now because I don't want to hold on too long. I just want to get in and out. Cool. So yeah, you guys hopped on. Did anybody have any questions they wanted me to go over since we hopped on? Just hanging out. Anybody want to show their screen? Turn on the camera and show what they're doing today? All right, I guess I'm gonna hop on here one day on a Friday and just play some YouTube videos. All right. Well, cool, man. Well, I just wanted to come and share some time. I didn't have, right now we're not really, we're looking at the market and there's not really a huge opportunity. It's a Friday afternoon, Saturday if the volume is not there. To me, it's like that's the times as a trader, you don't force it. You go enjoy your time because squeezing 1 or 2% when the market is not really, making any moves. And then of course, while you out, it could jump up 5 or 10 billion. But if it's only gonna happen that 1 second, you got to think that, hey, I just missed it, because you don't want to have that fear of missing out, like when you trade, especially if you swing trade at some points. Because if it goes up 5 or 10 billion, all of a sudden you miss that, then it's like, do you really want to get in if that's going to be the only time? So I always feel like, hey, the trend changes. Right now the trend is down. It dropped 10 billion. So it couldn't get over 94. It kept trying, and then it dropped. So right now we're in a downward trend. So if it's at 88, it won't pass 89, then eventually it drop to 82. And so if you're in there, you want to sell it. Yeah. So D Williams, he's saying is if people make money on cryptos, and they have two strategies. Some is to accumulate Bitcoin, some is to actually make more fiat. A lot of people that's making money in both the markets, they're using a different exchange where they can actually short. And so, like, really, you only make money in crypto consistently on both sides if you short and using an exchange. If you're swinging, then you're going to be in and out the markets, in 2 to 5 day, 7 day increments. And so, swing traders are really not holders. You got some guys that get into crypto and they just holders. They lose 3, 4, 5 months holding on to positions. For us, we kind of snipers. We pick our times and the other times we get out. And so you still can make as much money as day traders, because day traders, they take losses every day. None of them win 100% of the time. And sometimes, there's some exceptional traders that win 100% of the time. But most of the times, the more you trade, the more opportunities. So being a sniper, you may only be going for 5, 10%, and then all of a sudden the market goes up and gives you 40%. And so that's the advantage of being in a swing. And so, for us, it's time. If you're day trading making 20%, 30%, or if you're not using leverage. Leverage is, if someone uses $1,000 when they get 10,000 to trade with. And if they blow their account, they only lose 1,000. But if they're right, then they're making 10 times or more of what they would have made. Yes, there's a lot of platforms to actually trade crypto and short it. You have BitMEX and you have a lot of these other exchanges that give you leverage. 1 to 100, 1 to 500. But some of these platforms aren't available to U.S. customers, so you have to use VPN. And now your crypto is, in a VPN environment where something goes wrong and they can lock you out. But it's all risks. So, you have some risks is high and some is moderate. Some of these exchanges that, you're not trading crypto, you're just trading the CFDs. Some of the guys in crypto want to have their own private key. Like, if you don't have a private key, it's not your crypto. So, ONADA, Oanda, it basically has it integrates with TradingView, and you can actually trade there as well. So you guys can see on KMD, and that's one I think I sent out earlier. The buy pressure is still strong. So if you look at it on a week and you wanted to actually say, hey, you know what, if I get into it now and I stayed, you're still in it pretty low. So it could turn into a swing play. Yeah, it can turn into a swing play. So it's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, being a swing trader, day trading, and then, you see something on a week and it looks like this, or, if it goes down, it's like, all right, what's my plan though? If you're not going to be day trading and you buy in, you can't panic if it goes down, because in the next 3 or 4 or 5 days, the market goes up and down. So somebody was in Ripple and they got it in 30 and now it's at 24. It's like, do they have a plan? And that's what happens to most traders. They don't have no plans. They only expect it to go up and they didn't think about if it went down, and like how far it goes down and when they're going to buy it. So if you bought Ripple here at 30 and now it's at 27, it's like, well, where the next buy? Is it 24? Is it 21? And if it's 21, they're going to feel like they're down 20%. So they had to get into this at 30, or they had to make it short. A lot of guys panic after it's down 20, 30%. They be like, hey, now I want to get help. Hey, what should I do? It's like, man, you should have been thinking about that at 3%. You should have had a plan if it dropped 3 or if it's 10. So, same thing with Bitcoin. We look at the Bitcoin price. And at the end of the day, it's not even down that much. It's down. It's down, but it's not as down as, it's down 5%. Whereas Ethereum is down 2%. ETC, I think goes down. It's down 5% as well. So, 5%, that's significant. But, we've also had wins of 10, 20, and 30%. So the stops was, for us, the Bitcoin stops was at 93, is when we're saying it stop out, and at 250. 250 billion or 93, whichever one came first. So Vivian, normally on a time when volume is going up, it would be a good one to swing. But on a Friday night, going in is only a day trade. Because it's timing. If we're expecting, we're not expecting much to come in the next couple of days of volume, and then all of a sudden you get into a swing trade on a Friday night, knowing that you're going to be out, you're not going to be watching the market. You may want to get in on the swing starting in the morning, right? So at least you can get up, and then while it's up, you can put a stop limit in, at least protect it. So that's kind of my strategy. Is like, if I get in swing trades, you guys know I like to trade Sunday mornings. If I get in a swing trade, this way I can watch it for 4 or 5 hours and see the price going up, and then I can put a stop in and walk away. But if I know it's a Friday night or last night, we hopped on, we was gonna do some live trading, and then the volume started going down. And I was like, you know what? I'll wait till I wake up in the morning before I make a trade. And then we didn't make no trades, and then all of a sudden we woke up, and it it dropped overnight, and I would have been asleep, or I would have, if I had to stop, it would have stopped out. So I don't like trading with stops. I try to come in and let it go, and I only put a stop in when I'm up. So that's my strategy. I'll start early so I can get a little lead. I would never buy and just walk away in 5 minutes. I want to give it an hour or two, or if you are working, you buy and you kind of monitor it, and then it's all right. I'm up like 30%. I'm up 30 cents, or I'm up $1. So I'm gonna put the stop in now. Then I can walk away from it. Yeah, Vivian. I hopped on last night and I was going to trade. So I like to trade at nighttime, sometime when I know the market. But from a Thursday night when we had the, if we look, we had it in our plan. So you guys kind of know when I want to make a trade. You know, Tuesday stops. You know, Wednesday thought it was gonna be bearish. You know, be aware of a big drop on a Wednesday. So I don't really day trading is. I just go in and I'll start day trading. Like, you know, it's not like I don't. If I see an opportunity, I'll do it. You know, when I'm trading. A lot of times on these calls, I've misplaced because I know I'm gonna get distracted. So that's part of my rule. But last night, you know, I planned to trade and I got online and, you know, logged into the account and it wasn't planned, but it was like, hey, since we were sitting here hanging out, you know, we'll take advantage of the market. So yeah, definitely though. I'll do more. I'll actually do more lives. All right. So people have to go on a Friday night. Anybody else want me to go over anything real quick? All right, cool. You guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll upload this in the group for guys that wasn't around. All right, peace out, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, cool.